Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to this episode of my channel. So if you saw last week, we were out at Rancho Santa Fe Cars and Coffee, and there was a ton of cool cars there. There was like the Porsche 935, some other crazy supercars, and I was with my buddy TJ, and he mentioned that he had sold an MX-5 a few years prior, and he said that the owner of this car, who just happened to drive by while we were there, hopefully this wind noise isn't too bad. Anyways, connected with Sam here, and he was kind enough to come out and show us his build. As you know, this is like, dude, MX-5s like define cult classics. Yeah. Like, if you're into MX-5s, you're into MX-5s.
You're in it, you're in it.
But tell me about this thing. What year is this?
All right, so this is a 1991 BRG. It's the 1.6 liter. This is number 493 out of 4,000 for the special edition color.
Oh, okay.
Which is one of the reasons I like it so much.
It's like a British racing green almost.
Exactly. That's where that BRG comes from. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. So BRG, British Racing Green. Had it for about 4 years now. My dad's got one. I bought one for my daughter. We're a BRG family.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wait, so you have 3 of these green ones?
Special edition. Technically I have 4 of them, but yeah.
Oh my.
So
we need to get shoot with all of them together, and that'd be cool.
Yeah. This is definitely my like primary project, art project kind of car. My daughter's is just 100% stock.
Okay.
My dad's, we've done a little bit of fun work on it, mostly on the motor and that kind of stuff, and a little bit of interior, but this one definitely has kind of the more full package street car kind of version to it.
Right. And I was looking on Instagram, so it obviously started as like a passion project, but it sounded like it developed in a little bit of like a business and a side thing that you do also. So can you tell me a little bit about that? Yeah,
so I have a company called Dapper Motorsports. We do basically luxury interior items mostly for these little cars here. Anything from steering wheels to some leather work. I'm now working on a project for the gated shifter, which is really, really fun with Bill over at Miata Shifters, who does absolutely the best short shifter for this car. So he's been really kind to work with me on that project.
How does the shifter work with, like, is it a stock shifter itself, or is it just like the case around it that changes? What's actually different on it?
So it's actually mounted to the transmission, so it moves along with the actual transmission, so you don't get any vibrations and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's mostly cosmetic, since the transmission itself is actually internally gated. It's not necessary, but it looks really
It
badass.
looks the part. Yeah. let's have a look. Let's start there. So it sounds like, I mean, this is an all-around car, but like, it looks to me like the interior is really where it's at with this thing.
That's probably where it's been the most. I mean, the whole concept between Dapper Motorsports actually started with my other car, which is a 1990 Mazda, with a fastback and a pit crew front end and all that kind of stuff, but it didn't always look pretty,
right?
Except for on the inside.
Okay.
I believe heavily that race cars don't have to look like crap.
Yeah.
So I really started on losing a lot of weight from the car while still keeping a really, really killer interior.
Right.
And then that transitioned into this. You know, I'm not going to own a Bentley anytime soon, but I figure I might as well enjoy that type of lifestyle within the car. So while you're driving it, you can't really feel the difference between this and a Bentley in my perspective.
Right.
It feels absolutely amazing.
That's funny because, like, especially with like any performance-oriented cars, people like, whenever I see people strip their car and they're not like a full track car, I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. You're ruining, that car's gonna be terrible to drive. It really and you shaved like 100 pounds.
Yep, for sure. So that's kind of what started on this, and then it just snowballed. But yeah, we can take a look inside.
Yeah, let's have a look. Oh my gosh, this is next level.
Yeah, so the only remaining part of this car that hasn't been touched, massaged, modified are these crash pads along the outside. Everything else has had, you know, my hand on it.
Oh
from
my
the headliner to the floorboards. There's a giant collection here of super rare Japanese parts, one-off parts, some custom parts through like these gauges right here. I designed and had Adam from Rev Limiter, who makes special gauges for this car and for some other Mazdas.
Gotcha.
Make these ones specifically for, you know, my BRG. Based on my design, this is one of the steering wheels that I make, as I mentioned before. This is the gated shifter, as I was talking about. So, I mean,
it's so small. This is like an 1.5 inches wide.
Yeah, but it functions great.
So what, is it a short throw underneath this also?
Correct.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
So it's a short throw shifter with a custom shift rod that I designed to work specifically with this the gated shifter.
Got it.
I started almost everything that I've modified in here, as far as like the metal pieces, I started with 3D printing parts first.
Okay.
I really like 3D printing until I got the size, feel, and all that kind of stuff, and then worked with a machinist to get it all milled out. Yeah.
So what in here can people find that you're selling?
Oh, sure. So again, the gated shifter will be up very, very shortly.
Okay.
I have, well, I make shift boots and
okay.
e-brake boots, not in this capacity, but the seatbelt surrounds. I do special luxury, like suitcase bags that match the interior.
To go back here, like Ferrari style?
Correct.
I like that.
Which is really fun. Let's see, what else specifically for this car? Oh, the door straps are pretty fun.
Oh, these guys here?
Yeah, those guys there.
Love that. What about these seat covers?
Yeah, so these seat covers, so these are actually from a 95 M edition. They're the only ones in the States that actually have the removable headrest.
Oh, okay.
So I found an old set and I stripped them off and then I just reupholstered them, added in these nice rivets because it gets kind of hot.
Got it.
Improved the bolsters on it just to make it look a bit more huggy.
Yeah, for sure.
The turns and that kind of stuff.
For sure.
But yeah, that's about it that's in this car at the moment.
So what about this steering wheel?
Yeah.
What about it? Like, how did you even start with something like that? You start with the design in your head and...
Yeah, and then I 3D printed it. In fact, the actual grip underneath this leather is actually 3D printed in ASA, which is UV protected or resistant and heat resistant, all that kind of jazz.
Got it.
But there's an aluminum center here, through here, that I actually had milled, machined, and all that kind of fun stuff. And then I adhesed the 3D printed parts around it, and then put some foam, leather wrap it, and all that kind of jazz.
And then is this your horn button as well?
Yeah, so that's the little Dapper Motorsports logo there. I'm working on these pieces here for a nice little cover for the bolt cover. These are temporary parts just as I'm prototyping things around.
Gotcha. Man, it looks more like I'm stepping into like a Maserati or like some like old British sports car than a 90s Miata.
Yep.
Love it.
Thanks.
So what about, let's check out the kit on front. I haven't seen that before. So is it supposed to look, it's like a Lotus Elan style, right?
Yeah, similar. It's definitely from that kind of vibe. I get a lot of, like the Toyota 2000s and that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's a company called Damned, D-A-M-D, out of Japan. This was one of the first 3 or 4 of them in the States.
Oh, shoot.
Now there are, I think, 5 or 6 of them, but it's still pretty rare.
Oh, that's still not many.
But what's really fun about this one is it's one of 2 this is from my research, from what I've heard. Mm-hmm. Please, if you have some other information, let me know. But one of 2 that actually had the prototype lenses on them. These guys right here.
Oh, got it.
From the company.
So the rest of them don't have any lenses then?
Correct, yeah.
Got it, okay.
I've seen some one-off ones that look pretty decent, which is cool, but these ones were actually from Damned themselves.
I love that.
Then I added these fun yellow Marshall headlights on it, which I think really improves it. I actually use these for the headlights instead of just fog lights.
Got it.
So
are the headlights still functional then, or they stay down?
They can be, yeah.
Okay.
They actually are functional and all that kind of stuff, but you can split the wiring. I just use the wiring up to the front instead.
Gotcha.
Those are my primary lights.
It has kind of like Porsche slant nose style to it.
I'm very aware. I love those cars.
So what about around back? Anything done back there?
Yeah, so a lot of fun stuff on the...
Well, let's touch on the wheels first.
Sure.
These are sweet.
Yeah, thanks. So these are SSR air stages in 15 by 7.5s. I happen to really love them. I love that air fin, the disc wheels. I think they're really, really cool looking. I also think it really fits the car. I love SSR wheels. All my wheels are SSR. I just have a thing for them.
I don't blame you.
Thanks. And then, I made the center caps for the Dapper Motorsports. And
got it. So these are 3D printed then?
Yeah.
That's killer. Well, you said 15s?
Yeah, 15s.
That's the way to go. I think 15s on the Miatas is the right size.
Yeah, I like it especially for this. I've got 14s on the pit crew one, which just happened to fit that style. But for this whole build, the 15s were definitely the way to go.
Gotcha.
These mirrors are kind of fun.
What about
they're
these?
actually carbon Kevlar. They're made by Zoom Engineering. From my knowledge, there are actually only 2 of these carbon Kevlar ones as prototypes. The rest are either aluminum or carbon fiber. So that's kind of a really fun little rare piece that matches the tan interior.
This thing's just covered in goodies. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there are a lot of, like I said, one-offs or super rare stuff on here. Yeah, we could go around the back.
The hardtop of itself, it's like hard to find
hard
these
to
days.
find these days.
I
Yeah,
know.
so factory hardtop that actually got with the car.
Nice.
Which is pretty fun.
Wow.
So this is also by Zoom. Shorty bumper. This is their Elan bumper and the Zoom tail lights. So both of those are aftermarket.
And then how about the wing here?
Yeah, so the wing is actually from a guy in Greece. He made the fastback for my other car.
Okay.
And when I wanted them to match, so the fastback actually has a nice little duck tail to it. It's called Panos out of Greece. And so he made me this as well to kind of match it all.
Is this a one-off piece, or are these in production? Somewhere in between?
Somewhere in between. So
Gotcha.
you could probably get one from them if maybe you've gotten something else from them at the same time.
Gotcha.
But again, I don't know 100%, but that's just how I've seen it so far.
That's killer.
Yeah, and then to continue the Zoom theme, you know, I got a Zoom.
The big filler too. That's I love that.
Filler on there.
It's like
let's
nasty.
see, while we're back here, this, you know, bachelor bars, they call it, is really fun. It actually is.
Forget the passenger, you just need to protect yourself.
And it's actually made for a right-hand drive car.
What?
But yeah, but it actually was cut, re-welded, so we could use it on a left-hand drive car.
Oh my gosh.
So it's a really fun little rare piece.
Who was it originally from, did you say?
I knew it was gonna skip my mind. And I just can't think of it.
It's like an old race car part though.
Yeah, also from Japan, and I'm sure somebody online will recognize it, but yeah, it's a fun little style bar piece.
Gotcha. What about anything under the hood, or pretty stock under there?
Yeah, so this again is kind of my street cruiser. It's probably a little bit dirty, but
no worries.
It's got some fun Mazda speed parts, some fun rare. This arc chamber is pretty fun. Again, it's a 1.6 liter Mazda Speed leads, Mazda Speed oil cab. I've got headers, a high flow catalytic converter, and racing beat exhaust. It's got a bunch of suspension on it. I'm using the Exita long travel coilovers all around.
So it rides pretty well then?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, for the street for sure.
Nice.
And then it's got billet control arms, drop spindles, sway bars. Kind of the full
Gotcha.
full thing as a street car.
Right. Man, it sounds like probably does pretty good on the canyon then.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I love living up here, you know, in the Northeast County.
I know we're 5 minutes from a mountain road in either direction.
Yeah, where we only go the speed limit, but
yes, of course. Bring it up to 30 miles an hour and stop right there. Well, what do you think? Should we do a little mountain cruise?
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to.
Let's do it. Will get you in trouble.
Yeah. They will, especially with these tires. I think these are just like Federal something street tires, but
Federals do the trick.
They work, man.
Alright guys, that's a wrap today. Thank you for watching. You just let me know that he's building one of, what did you say, 7 other Miatas?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so he's building another one of 7. And he said what it's going to go over up to 9,000.
Yeah, 9,000 RPM, and actually breathe, actually do good work up there. So that's what we're looking for.
That's the wild track one. Dude, I just told him anything over 8,000, I'm game for that. Anyways, that's it for today. Thanks, Sam, and see you next time. All right, man. See you later.